Okay, this is the test case we have here. So we need to implement this test case. So for implementing that test case, we create POM Maven project, we update POM XML file, and then after that, then we will have these I can say support files. Let me support things. So what is the page object? What is utilities? Why do we use these for? Okay, I'm gonna go short on these, and then I'm gonna show you exactly in the project. So okay, first of all, when we create the test case, what is the test case? If I then it can be a feature file, it can be a test.ng test case. It doesn't matter. Then we will create. So I imagine we have two test cases. Then we will be creating two page objects for that test case. What do we use? Why do we do that? We do that because in the page object, in the test case, we keep actual test cases. Remember, we keep actual test cases. If it's test.ng, it has @ test. If it's a cucumber, it has it's the step definition. So if it doesn't matter if it's cucumber or if it's test.ng, for every test case, we will create a page object. What is a page object? So a page object. So let me just give you an example. So imagine so find by. Sorry for my handwriting. Find by annotation. Find by ID. This is ID, and then this is this line, and after that, I would say dot send keys. This is a sample. What is this? If I want to categorize this in different sections, this is a test case that does two things. First, this is identification. First, it finds the element, and after that, it do the action. So it has two parts. One part is identification. It identified the object or the element. And for the second find, it do the action, whatever the action is. Action can be send keys. Action can be like click. Action can be clear. Whatever action. So in here, this is a method, but this method is doing two things. It finds the element, so it does the identification. And after that, it does the action. What is the action we studied? It can be clicking, it can be sending keys, it can be clearing or whatever, or action classes or whatever. Here, in page object class, we keep all the elements. What kind of elements? All the elements that we are going to use in this test case. So, and then after we put all the elements inside this test case, so we do the action, we create a method and we do the action. So this action will come to this page object. So page object contains elements and actions method. So what is the difference now? If this one has the main test case, instead of doing another method, so if I put find element, so I usually I add another method. This method has identification part and action part. So separating the identification part and the action part and putting it in a different place is called page object. So when we create a page object, we create a page object for a test case. So we keep all the element of that test case away in another class. We call that class page object. What do we do in that class? In that class, we keep elements and we keep action methods. So it means what are the elements? First, we identify the elements, find by ID, find by XPath, or find by whatever. Then first we find the elements, and then we do the actions on those elements. And then by creating the object, then we can do testing and using page object, all the elements here. So remember, if I have like 20 test cases, I will have 20 page object classes. In that 20 page object classes, I only keep elements and actions. what kind of actions and element, whatever elements that I need for this test case. Imagine if I go to any website here, then I will keep whatever elements and actions I need in another class. This class is called page object model. What is the benefit? Imagine I have 20 test cases. And so let me just do it short. My first test case is login. My second test case is searching for ID. My third test case is adding customer. Let me, so my third test case is adding customer. And I have 3 test cases here. So I will create 3 step page objects. So what is the good point about this? So first of all, I create 3 page objects here. One page object for this login scenario, another page object for the send ID, another thing for this for search customer or whatever, and another one for adding the customer or adding a name. So if I put everything, so imagine if I put everything inside this test class, so the login, so what if I want to do testing on this login, I need to find the elements of that and then do the action all in one test case. This case will be very, very complex and heavy, first of all. So, and another thing, if any element changes, then I need to go back to this test case and bring changes, which is very, very, hard work. So I keep everything in page object. Tomorrow, imagine I did the login. I keep everything in the login, and then the next day I created this is a feature test case, search for ID, and then I already found the element and did action and in another page object for this. This is the third day. I want to add to the one customer here. Now, before adding this customer, I need to first log into the my account. So for logging into account, now I have already all the elements ready for doing this test case. So by creating an object, I use all the elements inside this inside the page object. So what is the page object? The page object is for the login. It is already created. This is called reusability. It is already created. So because if I want to add a customer, first I need to log in. Then I need to go here. If I search if this customer is not already added to the system. If it's not, then I will add that customer. So for getting to this step, I need to first find the element for login, do the actions, and then go and find element for the search customer and do the actions. This is too much work. But by doing that, I already have everything here. So then I will go and use, I already created this case for login. Yes, this is login, imagine. Then I will go and use the elements from the login page object. It means I created this page object for login, and then I added another test case, search for customer. I use the page objects. Now, this is another day. I need to add another customer. So I don't need to go and start getting the elements from the login again and from the search customer again. I already have them in the separate page object. So I go and I will use the element for this. I will use the element for this, and I do my test case for this, for adding customer. It means by creating a page object, we keep the elements forever. Any test case I want to create, tomorrow my boss asked me, okay, go and create the delete. This is the delete. So for deleting a customer, I have to first log into the account, then search for the customer. After I see that the customer is available, then I'll need to delete it. So I need to log in. So I need elements. So instead of going to the test case, start finding elements and doing the action, I use the page object for the login. That this page object, the page object is already available because it was used for creating this login test case. So it is already here. So I will use this. And then for searching, I'll go, instead of finding all the elements for searching, I'll use that already searched element, because there is a class, a page object class for this feature, and it has all the elements and it has all the actions. I will use it. And then the only thing I need to do, I need to find elements for delete feature and then keep them in another file. So now I will have four feature files. This is reusability. I can use the login, I can use the search, I can use adding customer, I can use deleting customer. I already have every element here. Tomorrow, again, this is going to be another step. My boss or my company would ask me to edit a customer. So for editing the customer, I need to, again, log into the application. So I need elements. So instead of start looking for elements, again, I already have the elements in the page object, login page object. So I use those elements. Instead of, then I first off edit, before editing, I need to search for the customer. So there's another page object that it has the search elements. It has the elements, it has the actions. Why there is another class? Because for when we were creating this feature or this test case, we found the elements. Now those elements are already there, and the name of that is page object or search customer page object, whatever name it is. This is called usability. And after I search for the customer, I found the customer, then I will do this action. I will I will edit the customer. So by creating one page object, we can use it forever, anytime we need. So let me clear everything. So this is the main concept that we have. For every test case, we will have a page object, remember, for every test case. And this page object has the elements, and it has the action methods. For what? For this test case. It keeps it inside this. Only elements, action method, nothing. So how can we, so now I have a test case called login. I need the elements. So how can I do it? I create the object. By creating the object of this class, I'll be able to use all or whatever I have it here. I have another test case. Let me, again, my apology for my handwriting. Okay, I have another test case here. So I logged into this is the login. I have another test case. Okay, after login, I need to find a ticket, find something. This is an airline. So for finding that ticket or whatever, this is another feature I need to change. This is search. Okay, then I'll be creating another page object. I'll be having all the elements and actions inside that. This is another. Anytime I want to use, I need those elements and actions, I will be creating an object for this. Okay, so I found the information. And after I find the information, I want to book my ticket, another test case. I will book. Okay, so this is the third day. Imagine now, so yesterday I created this test, login test case, and then I found object, I used the object. Today, I find I did this test case. This is another test case. So what is a test case? Finding whatever name or I need. This is the find test case. So and then I created the page element or whatever, and then I by using the object of that class, page object class, then I accessed the element and I did my job. Tomorrow I have another test case. What is that test case? So the test case called booking. This is booking. So I want to book a ticket. First of all, again, I need to log into that website. After I log into the website, I need to find the destination I want to go. After the destination, then I will be able to book a ticket. Okay, do I need to again find for element for the login page? Isn't it crazy? Again, I need to start, because I need to start the login page. Should I start looking for all elements for the login page? Because if I don't log in, I cannot be able to book a ticket, because first I need to log into the account. Okay, and then after that, I need to find the elements. I need to find my destination. This is another test case. Do I need to find all the elements for this? So do I need to find all the elements for this? No. What should I do? Yesterday, I created a page object for this login once I was doing the test case, and then I created another page object for the finding destination. It says here today that my boss is asking me to go and do this test case, or the stakeholders or whoever he or she is, then there is another test case. It's called booking. This is a test case. For this test case, I have prerequisites. What is the prerequisite? First, I need to log into the application. Do I need to start looking for all the elements again? No, I have all the elements here. See, this is when I wanted to create the login test, I had all the elements here. So now by using the object of this class, I'll be using all the elements just to log into the application. So I have everything ready. This is reusability. Then I need to find the destination. Do I need to go and again getting all the elements? No, I have already had it. I have a test case called find that I created yesterday. And for that test case, I created a page object. What does that page object contain? Page object always contain elements and actions method. Element and action method. So now, whatever I want to do, so what is my plan for today? My plan is just to book a ticket. Okay, only for today, only for this test case, I will go and create a page object class. Inside that page object class, I will find the elements and do the actions. And then I'll keep it. So I found this the other day. I made the login page object. This is login. This says find page object, okay, for this, see? And then I did all these things and I found them. Now I'm going to use them. And this is very easy. I'll be creating only one page object for booking because I already have 2 page objects for these 2. And if I have 10 test cases, and I'll be using the ready page objects that they have or they contain elements and actions. Tomorrow, after that, if I have any other test case, so I have the login page objects ready, I have the find test case page object ready, I have the book test case object ready, okay? And then my boss is gonna ask me, okay, go and change so imagine, go and do another test case, test case X. For doing the test case X, do I need to first log in or not? So this is the first thing that I need to do. Okay, should I start finding the elements again? No, I have it in the page object. So while creating the object of that page object, what is the object? Login object or page object or whatever. And then I'll access those. If I want to do this test case again after 10 months, tomorrow, next week, then I have all the page objects ready. I have a one page object ready for this find test case. Then what does that page object again contain, or every page object contains? Elements and action. So I only do it once and then I use it forever. This is the concept of page object. I think I wish I was clear for that. And then I'm going to give you another example as well. So the page object is something that we find. Let me just clear. For every test case, we have one page object. Again, I'm going to do it short. And it has elements and actions method. This case, this was login. Again, I want to find the customer. Find. Again, another test case. I want to, after I find the customer, I want to edit the customer. After I edit the customer, the day after, I want to delete the customer. For every of these, I will create a page object. Okay. Now I have 4 test cases here. Okay. I have 4 page objects. So login page object, find page object, edit page. So it has all the elements. So elements for this element, and so it has this page object. They have element and action method. Next week, I need to get to the application again and add a customer. Add a customer. So last week I created 4 page objects because I need to do these test cases. So now what one of these is going to come in handy. Okay, for adding a customer, what should I do? I need to get in. I need to log in first. Very good. So instead of going and finding elements for the login again, I'll just go and use the elements and actions for the login again. So how can I do it? By creating object of that class. So object, what is that object? For example, it can be login page object. And this is the scenario. You will have it forever. This is for reusability. And then it does only one thing. It keeps the elements of the test case and it does the actions. So only inside the test case, we will have the main methods, the main tests or actual test, not like any, there is in your test case, there shouldn't be any elements, nothing. And you will do the actions inside this page object. And I hope it was clear, and then I can just go through it once we do the project. Any questions? Was it clear, guys?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, good. So this is the concept of page object. So we use page object not to make the test case very, very heavy. Imagine this is the test case. It has the one test case, and then if I go and find elements and do actions, a lot of things, this test case will be very, very heavy. Tomorrow, another thing that you need to know about page object is whenever any element changes in this, so any dynamic element is the developer deleted an element, edited or whatever, I do not need to touch my test case, not at all, not at all. I will go to my page object of this test case. What is the test case? The test case is login. So there is a page object, definitely there is a page object for that login. Okay, and then what does that page contain? Elements and actions method. I'll go and change the elements. After I change the elements, then everything will be conducted on the test case. So I do not need to touch this, not at all. I only will go and do the changes inside the page object. So this is the benefit of page object. You never touch your test cases, never, because all the elements are inside this class, and anytime you can only access and change the whatever you want. Because if the class, if you put everything inside the class, imagine everything, then anything happens, any element changes, the developer delete or I don't know, edit or whatever, then you have all your test cases damaged. You have to come and do everything from scratch. This is a mix-up. So you never touch this, only you go and bring the changes here. For example, the ID will be dynamic, you will change the XPath to CSS. You will change the CSS to ID. This is the thing, or you will delete, whatever, but you never touch this, never. And this is the page object. Okay, again, page object, the concept of page object for reusability, I showed you, you only create it once, and then you use it forever. Another thing, you keep the elements and actions separated, because whenever there is a change in the application, that change should not affect your test case. That change will be, the page object will be affected, and then you will go to the page object, you do the changes, and then changes will be affected on the test case. So your test case is always fine. Okay, let me see what is that. Okay, so this is the concept. If there is no questions, I can go through the other one. Okay, the page object is done. Again, reusability, we created only once. And then again, what is the definition? Separating elements and actions method from the actual test case is called page object. Separating elements and actions method from the actual test case is called page object. Why do we use it? Because if I talk a lot, let me know, okay? Because sometimes I explain a lot. Okay, this is login again. I did the login. Tomorrow, if I want to do the login again, if I keep everything inside this login, and then if I want to do another login, then I would need to start creating again and again. So this is too much work. That's why we have page object. Now I'll go and access the page object by creating the object, and that's fine. Any test case, okay, has the page object. So we only create once. Remember, we have to create the page object, but we only create once, and we use forever, anytime. Okay, this is page object. I can let you know once we do the framework. And now we go to utilities on test data. So what are the utilities? Why do we use utilities for? These are, I can tell you, supporting classes. These are supporting classes for my test case. Okay, what's the difference? What the usage of utilities? So usually what you guys learn, and I can say we learn through the tech or whatever, I don't know. So we learn that we keep the database connectivity and then a base class. And also if you do Excel, so you put all the, if you do the data-driven testing, you put all the Excel file. So what does this mean? It means for utilities, the concept is you keep all the data separated, separated. So what is the data? One can be for connecting to the database. You keep the data separated. So what is the base class? Base class contains all the basic methods that we need to run the URL, to choose what to do about the web element or wait time or whatever. I'm going to tell you, but not now, once we get. And for the Excel file, you guys didn't learn. Once we do data-driven testing, we need all the elements from Excel file. Okay. If you do not use these things, again, for the test case, we need to create the methods for the connecting to the database. We will need to create a lot of methods for using the objects inside the base class. Okay, and then for connecting to Excel file, so or data-driven testing, we need to create a lot of methods only for Excel. And this test case would be very, very heavy and very complicated, very hard to understand, very hard to understand. That's why we already create classes for these. I'm going to show you how to create. This is important to learn, but it takes time. So I'm not going to go deep inside to it because you may get confused. Again, what is the purpose of page object? To keep the test case clean. We will do again the same things. Okay, I have a lot of things inside my database or base class. Now, instead of going and putting a lot of data inside test case, then I would only extend this base class, and I'll use the properties of this base class only by extending that. It means I do not need to put all the method of this base class inside my test case to use the features. I only extend it, again, just to not to make the test case complicated. And for Excel file, instead of creating a lot of method for connecting or writing into Excel or reading from Excel, I only extend, create the object and extend it, not creating the object, only extend the class, and then I'll be using all the features from this. Okay, this is the concept of utilities. It means it gives you the option not to complicate your test case, and only by extending these, you can use all the features. If you want to connect to the database, so you will use you will extend this. If you want to use all the properties from base class, you will use this. If you want to write or read into Excel file, you will use this utilities. It means if you have, again, if you have 10 utilities, remember, 10 utility classes, you don't have to use 10 of them. Imagine, so remember, we didn't use any Excel because I think they are not doing data-driven testing or whatever. Imagine if you have 10 classes, utility classes, we may use 2 of them, we may use 3 of them, or we may use 4 of them. It depends on the test case. How can we use them? By only extending that class. So we never need to put all the codes inside the test case. And that test case will be very complicated. No one will learn anything. The tester will be confused. And also, whenever anything happens to that test case, everything will be lost. But here, we keep everything outside. Whenever we want, we will call it. That's one, like page object class. And I'm going to show you more on this. And the last one is config files. Okay. Inside test case, what is the first thing you guys need to learn? So we never do hard coding, guys. This is important, hard coding. So instead of hard coding, we create a class config file. And then we connect this class to, if you remember, we have an input data file, data file. I think you guys remember it. We have it in the project. So inside this input data file, let me just clear this, show you. Okay, let's come here. We have a folder called input data file, input data. Inside that folder, there are two things. There are two files. There is one for log4j and the other one for properties, or whatever name you can put, and then it should have the ending like properties both. Okay, the concept is we don't want to do hard coding inside the test case. So for avoiding that, we create a class. It's called config files here, but the name is different. We can have it in a folder called like input file, and then inside that we do the hard coding. We do put the elements here. So we put the URL, we put the browser, implicit weight, page load, or whatever information we have here. So we will put inside this configure file, and then anytime we want, we can just call it and use the test case. So I'm going to show you now. Okay, again, page object, utilities, they are all supportive or classes for the test case. So the reason we use these, not to put everything inside the test case and make it very, very heavy and complicated. So I put the we keep the element inside this. Okay, we keep the base class, we keep the database class, we keep the Excel file class, or whatever we want inside the utilities, and then we keep the URL. Okay, we keep the URL any browser we want to use, like implicit weight or whatever. I'm going to discuss on this, not now. Inside this config file. Why? Because inside the test case, I don't want to hard code the URL. The reason, because we want to avoid hard coding. So whenever there is hard coding inside your test case, you are not a professional tester, I can say, as I learned. So you keep everything again away: URL, browser, implicit weight, whatever we call it. Okay, and then again, we will use these through a file that I'm going to show you. What is the purpose? To avoid hard coding. So I don't want to, you shouldn't put the URL inside your test case. You should not put the browser. Whatever the browser is, you should not put it inside your URL. So you use everything here. This is the reason. Okay, I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to get back to these once we are done. Okay. And one more thing that I'm going to tell you guys is that how to delete this. Okay, so now this is the implementation process. Remember, what is this phase? This is implementation. Let's calm down. Okay, for implementing, so we need to create a Maven project, then we update POM.dot, and then we create page objects only once, guys. For every test case, only once. We create basic test case. I have two test cases, then I create two page objects. Then we need add logs, okay, and then we read common values from property files. This is common values from property files. We always have common values. What is those values? Then they can be URL, browser. So we never put them in the test case. We use them. We read them from property files by using config files. But in Tech School project, the class name is different. I'm going to show you. And then run the test cases on the desired browser. So any browser, imagine I have Chrome. Whatever browser I can decide to choose, I can use it. So these are all called implementation. This is the first phase, this part. And after that, this part that you guys studied, this part is called execution, guys. Okay. After we create the framework, this is the framework. Then we will execute that framework. How can we execute a framework? Let me just show you. By testng XML file, we can execute the framework. Okay, you guys study. By pom.xml, you can execute the framework. Okay, and also after we execute that, then by Maven runbat, we can execute the framework. After we do the execution, then we can also execute it through the Jenkins. Okay, there are 4 ways to execute a framework. I'm going to show you these 4 ways once we create the framework. With testng XML file, we can create the framework. By using pom.xml, we can execute our framework by using Maven runbat and by using Jenkins. I think you guys learned Jenkins, and I think XML5 as well. Okay, now come here. So this is the execution. Any framework you guys design, you can execute test cases by Maven pom.xml. You can always execute your test case through pom.xml. I'm going to show you once we create the framework. And after that, you can also execute it through command line interface. This is, I think, something new to you guys. You have to learn. And then you can run it through a runbat file. And the last one is through Jenkins. So these are the 4 steps for execution. Then I think you guys only learn, I don't know, 1 or 2. So we're going to have most of them or all of them. This is the execution. We have 4 ways here. And after we implement the framework, guys, okay, always, then we will execute that framework. You don't have to execute it like in 4 different ways. It depends, but you have to know how to execute it, like through command prompt, through Maven, and through Jenkins. So now the framework is ready. What is the purpose? The purpose is to use that framework to make it available. Then we come to maintenance. What is the maintenance? So I created the framework. Should I keep it in my pocket? Should I keep it in my computer? No. The framework need to be used, need to be available. Okay, then for that, we will do maintenance. The maintenance phase, it means we need to keep it. So then we create the repository in GitHub. After that, we commit the project into a local repository that you guys learned. We will also do it again. So now I only have the project in my local place. And after that, we are gonna push it to the GitHub. Once we push it to the GitHub, it means this by sharing that GitHub repository link, this project will be available to anyone that we need to make it available for. So again, one framework has different steps. We can 3 different: implementation, execution, and maintenance. Whenever you want to develop a framework, you should consider these. And these parts, you only do them once. So you create the project once, you update your pom.xml once, you create your base. You have 5 test cases, you create 5 page objects. That's fine. Then you add login logs, and then we will do this. And once you do it, you will only add test cases. So once you have everything ready here, let me. So you have everything ready here. So you created everything. So 1 test case, 1 page object. Okay, that's fine. And then for that test case, you created the utilities and then config files, and that's all. Tomorrow you have another test case. Test case 1, test case 2. So what should you add? You only add page object. That's all, because these are forever. These are all forever. You never go and start creating utilities again. You never go and start creating config files again, or whatever. So you have test case 2. Then we have 2 test case. We will need to have 2 page object. That's one. So test case 3, another page object, just to keep the elements and action method. So it means implementation, it only happens once, and then by creating more test cases, the only thing we do is creating more page objects. That's all. Then we can also use whatever we already implemented. So we don't need to do it again and again. Okay, this is the overview of this, and I hope you guys got it at least a bit. And then let's go to the framework now. Are you guys confused or any question?
No, it was clear for me. Thanks.
Sure. I did work, I think, a bit on the project. So let's just start from the scratch and then again. So do you guys want me to start from the scratch or just go through what I created? Which one do you feel more comfortable? Because the pros and cons, if I start from the scratch, it may take more time. And if I do whatever I did, so it may not take more time. Depends.
I think just go through what you made already.
Okay, good. I'm gonna just follow this and then show you. That's fine. Okay, imagine I want to create a project so let's not just put it assignment. So how to create a Maven project, okay? So whatever we come to other, and then we put Maven here. If you don't see it, Maven project, next. I may not create, I'm just want to show you. Okay, so there are two things here. You can come on the desktop and add a folder like BDD project, whatever. So if I want to keep my project here, you see I'm keeping my take camp stone. This is my project that I'm keeping it here. How can you do it? Then if this is checked, then it's going to take you to the local place. Now you can browse if you want to keep your project in different place. So what was the name? Take BDD, and then only put the name here, BDD project. So select folder. If I select this, then this is a new project. My project will be here. So this, I want my project to be on my desktop or any other location. This is where you can. But if I check this, it's gonna create your project in your local place or workspace. So now I think I'm gonna use this project next. And here, once you come here, remember, the only Maven project for BDD framework, you need to create Maven dash archetype dash quick start. This is the only thing that you can do. So you see, you have 3 quick start your computer. In my Eclipse, these two don't work because I think there's something with Eclipse. So you have 3 options. So normally go with 1.4. This is the only thing that you can choose with BDD or with the framework. Other than that, it's not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna choose this again. Maven archetype quick start, very important. And then here you can put the name. So I can put the name, for example, BDD sample. It's not a good name, but because we always need to start from com dot and then com dot. I'm not going to work on this project. I'm just showing you. Okay. Another trick that I'm going to show you guys, whenever you want to make it not that lengthy, you can just delete one part from here. Only keep one. Okay, only keep one. Then it's going to be, that's not going to be lengthy. Okay, now I created. So let's see if we have it here. If no, what's wrong? So I created here, and then do we have it here? No. Why? I'm going to show you something else. So I come here, deselect. I have a lot of projects. Now the one we only created, what was the name? Yeah, this one. See, this is the one we created. Now I have a lot of projects. If I want to only have some projects here, what you can do, just go here, select working set. Here, I already have some sets. Imagine that whatever I choose, imagine I want to only work on, let's see, this is the name that you can put. So I'm gonna remove all of them just to show you. Okay. And then remove Okay, so now I want only have two projects here. So I add again, I'm gonna delete. Okay, so again, select just to show you. I don't have anything here. Click on new, Java, next. It gives you all the projects you have, all the project here. So what I need to work on, I created only one project here, com.bdd sample, okay, whatever. And then I also made a mistake because with project, we don't put com, but I put, so now I choose it. Here, if I click on add, it doesn't, it works, but it gives me working set cannot be empty. So here I would say BDD tick, for example. Then I would click finish. Once I come here, the same name I put will be here. Here, if I click on this and also click OK, here the only project I'll have will be this. This is the only project. So this way you can make your workspace very, very clean, and whatever project you can add. So again, I go and this time if I want to get all my project back, I would select deselect workspace. I'll get everything back. Again, I'll come here, select, and delete this. I don't need it. I just want to show you guys. So let's just get some project just to work clear. Okay, so this is the project we need. Tech. This is the project we need. So I put the name just to remember whenever I want to add it. And then add. Another project we need is also get the retail project from text. Okay, here I can say retail. So I choose this one. Okay, I'll be having only, okay, and also I can have another project here. Let's see what other project we have. Okay, for now that's fine. Okay, now we have two projects. One is a Campiston, Campiston. This is the retail project. Okay, imagine that we created the Maven project. That's easy. I showed you. Then after that, we will update our pom.xml. So you will click on the pom.xml. This is important because I'm very, very sensitive. So what is pom.xml? You just only the two benefits. Always remember one. When you put pom.xml, by using pom.xml, whenever you don't need to start downloading all jar files, you will keep everything here. So it depends your project. So the project we have is Cucumber project. So we have the Cucumber, and never think about this part. Always learn this part. So what is this? This is Cucumber Java. Learn the second part, okay? Learn the artifact, not the group. This is Cucumber JVM. This is Cucumber JUnit. So Cucumber here needs 4 things: Cucumber external report, Cucumber JUnit, Cucumber JVM. So we never care about this part, never. We don't remember this. Okay, and also JUnit has 2 things. So why do we use JUnit? Because we need to run the test runner through JUnit. So again, this is only JUnit for the tree, and these 2 are duplicated. These 2 are duplicated, if you see. Okay, now we go and see this is for external report. I'm going to show you. So Apache PUI is for data-driven testing, Excel file. We have these 2, PUI. Whenever you see Apache PUI, and also this is PUI, this is for data-driven testing. This is also for a screen recorder, for the screenshot we do. So this is Apache PUI again, just remember Apache PUI. These are all for data-driven testing. This is WebDriver Manager, very important. When we use this, we never need to go and download Chrome path. Okay, let me show you something. So what is this is WebDriver Manager, guys, okay? So let me show you something. It is out of the topic, but very important. Whenever you add WebDriver Manager, you pom.xml, okay? So let me tell you a good feature. So let's select a new Java and okay, so now let me show you something. Here I go. Okay, so remember this. Whenever, so the good point about pom.xml, if you put the in WebDriver Manager that we use in Tech School project, so what is the benefit of this? If you come here, I created this for myself. I want to show you. Okay, I want to use Chrome. I need to go and download Chrome here. Okay, here is the drivers. I have 4 drivers here in my project: Chrome, Gecko, IE, and the other one Edge. For any of those, I need to first go here. And see. Let me tell you this. Then I need to set system property, then give the Chrome information. And after that, I used another thing, get property, and then use this and this and this. And after that, I use a driver equal new driver Chrome, just to launch Chrome. Just only to launch Chrome, okay? For the same thing, if I want to use Firefox, then I would need to do the same thing, okay? Let me also teach you about this part. This is important. Let's go to Chrome and properties. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this about this. This is the entire path for my project. This is where is my Chrome browser? My Chrome browser is the C drive, user, Ringo, Eclipse, workspace. This is the name of the project, driver, Chrome, whatever. Whenever this is too long, guys, whenever this is too long, okay? So I can also put this here. Let me see. I can also put this here, but this is too long. Instead of putting everything here, so this is something that you need to put. WebDriver, Chrome, this is important. After this, we use set system get property. This is set property. This is get property. Inside this get property, we use this keyword, user.dir. What is this dir? When you put this, it means from the location to the project, you don't need to put it. This dir covers the entire this location. So what is the location? From the C drive, user, Ringo, this is my computer, for example. Yours may be your user, maybe something another name. This is my Eclipse workspace. This is my project name. Tail project name. If you want to avoid this, instead of that, you put system.getProperty user.dir. After that, after the project, whatever comes after project, what is the project name here? This is the project name. What is the project name? Selenium, whatever. This is my project name. After the project name, only you put whatever comes after the project name in here. Drivers, Chrome driver, exe. So whatever comes after project name, you put here. Instead of putting everything here, only you put system.getProperty. It means when you put this, it gets the property of the project location, whatever the location is here. So by putting only user dir or whatever set property, you avoid this part, the project. Tail project, this is a project. After the project, whatever comes after the project, then you put it here. So now after the project is drivers, Chrome, exe, that you guys know that we need to put the driver. This is the location, Chrome driver. So now this is the reason for this. I hope you guys learn. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you guys was this. Okay. And Yes. Okay. So what is this WebDriver manager? By putting so imagine in this POM XML file, this is another project. I open this. Inside this POM XML file, I only have one dependency, guys. If you see, this is, I think, two, maybe more, probably two or three. But what is the, because I need to use Selenium, okay? This, what is my plan for this project? In this project, I want to use, you choose what to pick, guys. It's not mandatory to put everything inside pom.xml file. What is my purpose of this project? I want to use, first of all, it's a Maven project I created. I need to use Selenium. So for using Selenium, I put Selenium, again, never care about this part. Second, artifact, selenium.java. So this is all jar files that we need to use in Selenium. That's good. JUnit comes with the pom.xml, so I didn't delete it. That's okay. And also, I put, again, never care about this part. What is this WebDriver manager? So here, my pom.xml only has two things, and this is duplicated. I can also delete one of them, doesn't matter. So I put WebDriver manager. What is the purpose of WebDriver manager? Okay, let's come here. If I want to use Chrome browser, again, I need to go and copy the path, whatever, for Firefox, and then I WebDriver driver equal Chrome driver or whatever. Then instead of downloading these drivers, and then you need to download them and then come, put the location or whatever. The easiest part is I only type WebDriver. So we learned this in tech school things, but I think not the best way. So I put driver manager dot Chrome driver, and here after Chrome driver dot setup. So now my Chrome driver is fine. It means instead of going and put everything here, this is my Chrome browser. So now this is driver manager. I have the WebDriver here, so I'll copy the same thing here and then put it here. Now I can launch Chrome browser easily, very, very easily, because I already created. So this is going to launch Chrome browser. If I want to use Firefox, instead of going and put set property and then set get property and put the location and then a lot of things, then by adding WebDriver manager repository, we can use it for all browser easily. Remember this, guys. Okay. Now, if I want to use for Firefox, if I run this, I think it's gonna work. Let's see. What is this? I will get this way. Let's restart this. So remember, this one is not working. This one is commented. Only this is not commented. See? So by using WebDriver manager, we can use browser very, very easily. We don't have to download. We never need this. So now if I delete this, that's fine, because instead of these, I only have this XML file dependency. Instead of all the drivers and locations, I only have this. So that's what I'm going to show you. So this is the same thing in Compass Zone. I just wanted to show you. Let me run this, see if it works. It should work. Now, as you see, it works. What we did, only we put the WebDriver manager dependencies inside that. Okay, now, so this is very easy that we can also use for WebDriver manager Firefox. This is also we can use with WebDriver manager Edge. You see, Edge driver, WebDriver manager, also Internet Explorer. So instead of going and putting like one by one Chrome browser, imagine if I want to do this. Let's see. I need to, okay, let's go set property. If I want to change to Firefox, I need to, instead of Chrome, put Gecko, and then I need to go and change this to a Gecko driver or whatever. So we can avoid everything by only putting the WebDriver manager to the pom.xml file. I think I hope you guys understand this. Very easy. Just go and try it. Okay, so let's keep on. Let's get back to our job. Here, I just want to explain this to you guys, WebDriver Manager. Okay, now, and also, if you, I can delete this Postgres. Do I need to connect to database? Maybe yes, but not now. So I'll keep it. Remember, you may not need it now. So for this CVS file, these are for reporting. This is log4j. So log4j, if you don't have pom.xml, you have to create log4j and then go and let me, it takes time, I may show you. Then you need to just copy this in your location, project location. But with the pom.xml, you will have everything inside this, and it's very easy instead of going and downloading. Another thing that you got to learn about pom.xml is, imagine now Cucumber Java or Selenium Java is 3.7. Okay, tomorrow if the new versions, if the new version of this come, let me just go here and Google for you. So I'll say Maven and repository, and let's see. I need Cucumber Java. Okay. Okay, this is Cucumber Java, and let's just, and we always get IO, guys. Never go with info. Okay, IO. I'll click on this. It says 610 or whatever. So imagine I go with this one. What is this? 610. What is my version here? 3 point whatever. You can easily go and just copy this version or just only this number, whatever, and then come here and just put it here. So what is the purpose? The purpose is you never need to delete here anything. Just go and change the number. So do we have anything new? Yes, we go to go and change the number. And this will never change because this is always Cucumber Java. This is always Cucumber Java. The only thing you need to change is the version. So pom.xml, this is very, very handy. You can put all the dependencies here for dependency that you may not need them now, but in the future. I don't want to connect to database now, but I'll keep my Postgres. I don't want to report any, create any CSV report, but I'll keep it. I can delete it now, but it doesn't affect my project. So, and WebDriver Manager that I show you, it's very, very important. So now I'm gonna close this. And also this, no. Okay. So this is my project, that pom.xml file. Then let's get back to this. Okay, now create page objects, the first thing. But let's go to the project and let's go here to take a scroll. So the first feature we have, let me first of all go to something else. Sorry. Okay. Okay, this is a project. Imagine I want to go through this project. Let's break it down first, okay? This is a project and I want to work on it. So these are my feature file. This is a BDD project. So in a BDD project, we have different steps. First of all, we will need to create, so what is the first step? Step one. First step or number one is to create feature file in BDD framework. In BDD framework, feature file is the number one. So inside the feature file, we will create our scenarios. We can have one scenario, scenario 2, scenario 3, scenario 4. After we create the feature file for every scenario, we will have steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
شوية وقت موضوع كان يقدر كريم.
Okay, for every scenario, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 1, maybe 2. So this is feature file. After we create the feature file in a BDD framework, BDD, Cucumber. Okay, this is a feature file that we have here. Inside the feature file, we have different scenarios. Scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, scenario 4. Every scenario has steps. These are all steps. So after I created my feature file and put all my steps inside it, then I will need to, for every scenario, I need to implement the methods. So then we will need to, I hate this. So after that, I need to, another step I need, let's see. The next step, so for every scenario that I have here, I need to define them. So then I'll create a class. That class is called a step definition class. For every scenario, so my scenario number 1 has 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. So I'll then here, so we can do it manually or we can run it. So then we will have the step definitions. So we will have method, so number 2, 3, 4, 5 for every scenario. So scenario 1, this is scenario 1, and this scenario has 3 steps. So for 3 steps, we will have 3 methods, 1, 2, 3, again, for 3 steps. This scenario has 4 steps. Scenario number 2. Scenario number 2 will have 1, 2, 3, 4 methods. This scenario has 2, will have 2 methods. This scenario has 3, will have 3 methods. So for the feature file, we must have, we must create a step definition file. Inside that step definition file, we will do the actions. We will do the, then here, when you create a feature file, still inside the feature file, there is no Selenium. There is no Selenium code, never. A step definition is the only place that Selenium will get involved. This is the only place that Selenium will come to the picture. So, and also we will have page object class. In page object class, if I come to the page object class, let's page object class, take this stuff. Okay, this is this stuff. There is no Selenium here in page object class. Can you guys find any Selenium code here? No, no Selenium code, nothing. So the only way, the only place we have Selenium code involved is in the step definition file. Again, for every feature, we will have, we will need to define step definitions. And after that,
Sure.
and after that, inside the page object, again, what does page object, guys, include? What does it have? Again, we will keep all the elements and actions method. Okay. We will keep all the element and action method. So by this feature file. Now, inside this step definitions, I need to use the elements of the page object. Now, inside the step definition, I'll create the object of this class inside the step definition. So by creating the object, I'll get whatever page element I have here. So it says, for example, step 1, it says, oh, go on the website and then click on the login button. So where do I keep that element? I'll keep it inside the feature file, inside the page object. Okay, enter user, I'll keep it here. Enter password, I'll keep it here. Click on the login button, I'll keep it here. in the step definition that we have actual Selenium code. Remember, actual Selenium code is always here. Never here, never in page object, never in feature file. Here, I need to use the Selenium code. Then how can I access this page object? Because I need all the elements here and I need all the methods. I don't need the actions. I need the method because these actions are done through a method. I need to get access to this method. Okay, how can I access them? Then by creating the object of this class, I can access all the elements and also I can access all the method that they have done the actions. Okay, this is the first step that you guys need to do. First, we create a feature file. After that, by running that feature file, we will be creating a step definition one, or we can start creating ourselves, which takes time. And after that, for every feature that we have here, not for the step definition, we will find the elements and do the actions in a page object class. Okay, now we have everything. So what should we do? We should start implementing. So through the step definition file. So how can I get the elements and also the actions method? By only creating the object of this class, I'll do everything through step definitions. After I've done everything, I will, okay, I'm done. I'll also run my test case through JUnit. JUnit. Where is that JUnit? The JUnit is inside another class that we create. That class is called runner class. So inside that class, we use JUnit. Okay, and then we contact. So inside the runner class, we have two things which is very, very important. First, I need to give the address of my feature file, the address for my feature file, and the address for my step definition file. We never have anything to do with this. The only place we need this is just to use it in our step definition file. How can we access this page object? We can access through an object or creating an object. Okay, we create a feature file, then we create a class step definition to implement all these features. But after we create the class, how to implement, how to access these features, we need to access through the elements. So now we create a page object class. We put all the elements for every, so scenario one has three steps. So we'll create element, we'll find elements and do the actions. Scenario two, we keep everything here. And then we have a source here that we can use it anytime we want. Now we will only use page object class through a step definition. We never need page object class for the runner class. We never need page object class again for the feature file. We only need it once through a step definitions. Okay, now if I come here, so what is the first step I want to do? Let me show you something more. Okay, this is a project that we can also go through this as well. Page object, we create a page object here, then test cases. So here, this is a TDD framework, guys. This is TestNG, not Cucumber. But what I want you guys to understand, instead of this test case, can anyone tell me where what we can put here in a BDD framework test cases? Can anyone tell me? This is a TDD framework. Instead of it has test cases.
Feature files.
Step definition.
Yes, a step definition. Very good. Because step definitions, so what I just told you guys, they only do the action, the most important part, because we use Selenium code. So here we have a step definition. Here we have a step definition. So what is feature file? In the feature file, we keep all the data, the elements and actions. So we use it for BDD and TDD, it doesn't matter. This is not TDD actually, I'm saying this is a TestNG framework, okay? And then here, this is page object, again, we use it. Instead of, so with TestNG, we never say test step definitions. We never say that, we say test cases, if you remember. Okay, but here we put the step definitions. And test data, this is, I hope you guys are not confused because maybe you don't know what is test data. I'm gonna let you know what is it. What is test data? This is data-driven testing. Data-driven testing, but you guys need to learn this, very important. So when data-driven testing, we read the information from a page object, from a Excel file. So that's why we put it here. Again, so we can ignore it for now because it doesn't have anything with our project now. And another thing is this part, utilities. Okay, in utilities, we use, what is this? Support, learn it like this, support classes. Or we can say supportive classes. So what are these? So they have everything. This is for Excel. Whenever you see XLU, this is all the Excel files. So when I want to read something or write something in Excel file, I do not need to start creating the wheel again. A company has already created it, and I'll buy from that company. Okay, so I have a class, I implement that class. This is reporting. This is read config, that in BDD framework, this is a base class. Okay, and this is again Maven project. Okay, and this is config.properties. Here, instead of this config properties, what do we have here? We have, in our project, we have input data. So config, what is the important part? It contains config property file. It means it contains all our hard coding, like the URL, the whatever. And also we have the drivers here. But in our project, we access the drivers through base class. So this is log4j, the same thing. And this is a screenshot. And also this is config.file that we have all our reports. So this is a structure of the project that we need to understand. Some of them are the same, some of them are different. But remember, when you create a Maven project, let me just delete this. Whenever you create a Maven project, it's important. You have these structures. Let's get back. The first, you have main, source main. Then you have source test. These are the structure of Maven. And after that, you can have a resource folder. You may have resource folder, you may not. So now in our project, if I close everything, I have main, I have test, and I created these resources. It doesn't give you the first. So this is the same project that we have here. Okay, but if I come here, instead of test output or target, we have everything here. We decide where to put the reporting. I'm going to show you. Okay, now let's get back to the steps we have here. What I need to do, I need to create my feature file. This is a test BDD. So never be scared, guys. This is very easy. Is it a BDD framework? Yes, I need to create my feature file. I don't care about the other steps. So imagine I have these, I need to create. In the main, I always put my utility class, like core base. Inside the main, we always create page object inside the main. Let's go here. Let's see. Inside this is main, see? This is test. Another thing that I can show you, some people, they put, when they do BDD framework, they put everything in one project, feature, page object, and whatever. So now we follow the tech, I mean, whatever they said, because this is a homework. But remember here, this is main. The page object is inside the test, see? It doesn't need to be inside the main. And sometimes everything is inside the test, like the feature file or whatever. But if you come here, the feature file I created inside the source folder. This is feature file.
Mr.
I created
Rafiq,
here.
a quick question here. Is there any standard structure for making a framework? Because I've seen some other frameworks that they put the step definition and object classes together?
So as far as I know that I went through it a lot, I think it mostly depends to the company structure. How do they want it?
Okay.
Because some people, I saw some testers, they put everything. So they put, this is the main, this is my page object, okay? Now, if
Right.
you come to test, this is my test step definition. Mostly, I saw that they put a step definition, page object, and feature file in one folder, and the folder is test. Remember this. Mostly, they put a feature file, a step, sorry, page object, a step definition, and feature file in test folder. Because when you want to, map them, that is much easier to be mapped like this. But normally, that's why I'm telling you, this is the system that Tech introduced. So we are going to follow the same thing. But remember, if you see feature file, page object, and the step definition in one folder, which is called test, never become surprised, because this is the regular thing that they do. And mostly developers work on the main, testers do on test. So step definition, feature file, and page object, they are the work of tester. So they always keep it inside. This is a good mapping for it. So this is not a standard now that we are doing, because mostly I saw that they put the feature file inside the test. They put the step definition and page object. It means they can find them easily, so they can interact with them much easily. Okay. Let's do it quick because we don't have time. So what I did, imagine I go to, so let me show you something more that you guys learn. This is a Maven project again, okay? I have the main. I want to have the same base file here. So this is easy, just remember. I click on this, Control C, I come here on the main, and I Control V. Okay, I'll have the same core class here. Whenever you want to create a project, you can also copy and paste. That is going to be very easy. So then I don't need it, so I will delete it. Imagine if I want to use the utilities, I'll click on the utility file, copy. The utility file is inside the source main. So I'll come to the source main, click on this, Control V. You will have the utility file here inside, and that's the same thing whenever you need it. But now the reason it gives you error, because in pom.xml here, we only have WebDriver Manager, as you see. Only we have to add all the dependency. So this is how you can create very, very fast project if you want. Okay. So what I did, let me just go through it fast. So inside my main, I added the base. Base is utility. Then I created a page object. So now imagine this is a new project. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Very important. So I'll create a source folder, first of all. How to create a source folder? Imagine this project doesn't have anything, because I don't want to take your time and create a project and folders again. So imagine this project only has main, test, and nothing. So what should I do as we learn? So I need to create a feature file first. Okay, so let's go. Right click, folder, source folder. In this, I create a source folder, and then I put the name. What is the name? SRC test source. Imagine I created. After I create the source folder, then inside the source folder, I need to create a folder which is called feature, the most important. Other, okay, here folder, and then I'll after that, then I put the name, whatever name. It should be dot feature. So imagine this is our feature file. So sorry, I mixed it up. It's a folder. It should not be a feature file. So this is I thought it's a folder again, folder, and then I give a name to folder, whatever name. So the name, what name do you give to the folder? Feature. So imagine I create the folder. After that, I right click on the folder, new file. Now I'm going to create the feature file. So whatever name SSS, for example, here it must end with dot feature. So if I hit finish, it will be creating that. So I don't need it. So okay, let's create. Now this is a feature file. Okay, when you create a feature file, it gives you everything. So it just see it, that's fine. If you want to delete it or if you want to take a look at it, so delete everything. So this is the feature file I just created. Now I'm gonna so I just want to show you first because I already created. Let's come here. I'm gonna go here, get everything. Okay, is it this stuff? Yes. Okay, I copy and then I paste it here. Once I paste it here, this is desktop feature. Okay, now what else I need to, so this is, so when you paste everything here and it's messy, so right click, pretty format. So the reason it gives you error, I think you can I can say that. Let's see what is wrong here. Okay, what is the error? Learn this. Always there must be a keyword here and then a text. This text, it should not be here. See, if I cut this and put it here, it's gonna work because whatever here you put, it must be one of these keywords. Let's now pretty. Let's see what is wrong. It says one only format feature that has no listing error. Let's see what is the error. Okay, stop feature. Yeah, another error is here. Let me copy this. That the feature has to, so this feature is a keyword. It should be red. It should be yellow. So how can you make it yellow? By just putting it here. Let me just put it here. Now it's yellow. If I right click again, it should just work fine. Now everything is adjusted. See how it's different now? Now you can add whatever you want. Desktop, then whatever. Now you have everything ready. Very good. So see your name, review, bad or good. This is, I'm going to show you, but this is now in a good form. Okay, one thing that I want to you guys learn, if you come here, now I want to show you the background keyword. What is the background keyword? If I come here, I have different scenarios. I told you feature file has different, each feature file has different many scenarios. Scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, scenario 4. Every scenario can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever 2 steps. What are those steps? If you come to inside the step definition, those steps are called method. For those steps, we have method. This is important. So every line is a method. Every line is a method inside the step definition. Okay, now I have different scenarios. These scenarios has steps. So inside the step definition, this step will become a method. Okay, what is important here? Always remember, feature should be the first thing here, but you can, the only thing that you can do is only put a tag here. About feature, the only thing you can put is a tag. What is a tag? For example, you want to run a tag, you want to run all of them, you put a tag all, and then you put this tag inside your runner class. Just want to show you. Otherwise, feature should be on the top. Now, one scenario, second scenario, whatever. What I see here, so see, a scenario, given user is on the retail website, given user is on the retail website, given user is on the retail website, given user is in retail. So this is repeated for everything. So what I do here, so I put the background keyword here under the feature, remember. So when it turns, so now it's not the keyword, it's an error. When I put the column, it's a keyword. Now, so this is a repeated step. So for the repeated step, I put it inside the background. Given user on the retail website, okay, it's here. Given user is on the retail website, I go delete it, I don't need it. Given user on the retail website, these are all repeated. So once I put it under the background, it will cover all the scenarios. So again, given user on the retail website, so I delete it. So 1, 2, I now this will be fitting for every scenario. This will be fitting for every scenario. Another thing, when user click on the desktop tab, okay, this scenario, when user click on the desktop tab, This scenario, when user clicks on this subtab, okay, they all have it. So I'll just cut it from here, put it. So this subtab, delete, this subtab, delete, and this subtab, delete. So now I'm just making it common. Another thing, so I see if there's anything repeated. All users click on the show all this stuff. So let's see. Okay, this scenario has the same thing. See, all users click. Again, on all user clicks on this stuff. So I can get it from here, doesn't matter. Then I'm gonna go and put it here. So I'm gonna delete it from here. All user on the desktop, delete it. And all user from desktop, delete it. So now I go back again here. As you see, my first scenario almost has only left one. Okay, only left one, but it doesn't matter because it will get all from here. I go to the other scenario. It says, and you, then user is not repeated, and user click and add to the cart option. Okay, and user click add to the cart option. This is HP. This is Canon. They are not different. They are just not the same. Okay, and user click on Canon E5 the item. Okay, this is a user add to cart. Okay, so they're all different from one another. So that's why I never put them inside the background keyboard. I only put things under the background keyboard that are repeated for every step. So now, just to make everything clear, creative format. Now it's again the good format. See, this is background keyboard. Okay, I just showed you how to create it. Okay, now this is my feature file. So inside this feature file, I actually have the same feature file. You cannot have two feature files that have the same things. Okay, it's gonna be duplicated. If I click on take desktop, it has the same thing. Let me delete this. So I put everything inside under background, see, given, and then it's the same thing. And I only change this. I put the name in here. My review is it was an average review for me, and the rating is bad. I'm gonna go through this. So let's make it pretty. So I just showed you how to create and how to do that. So now I have one feature file that this feature file has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps. This feature file has 4 scenarios. Each scenario has different step that I need to create a step definition for all of them. So now what I need to do, I go right click, I delete this because I don't need it. Okay, I already have, did I delete something? No. What? Please do not damage anything. Okay, so don't say. Okay, desktop feature file. Okay, if I let me go and so I already, so this is my first step. I created my feature file. Okay, now after I create this, I'll be running it. Right click, run feature file. But now because I have a step definition here, what should I do? I'll go to my step definition, desktop step definition. Okay, and here I'll comment everything. So I'll comment everything. So once I comment everything, let me save it and go here. And so the plan is just to create a step definition. I have 2 ways. One, I can create a step definition class like this and start writing all my methods. Okay. So given user is on the retail website, because inside my for every of these is a method. 1 method, 2 method, 3 method, 4, 5, 6, a lot of methods. So we don't do it. We normally run our feature file. When you run your feature file, that the feature file has all these steps, then it's not gonna work. Now it should give me the, okay, another, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we have to go to the run class. No, it should not. Yeah, I made them. Okay. Now, if you see, I have all the methods here. So let's go one by one. So you can implement these missing steps. So user is on the retail website or whatever. So, and then the user click on the desktop. See, user is on a retail website. User click on show all desktop and the desktop tab, yes. And user click on the show all website desktop, this one. So I have all the methods. So what is this? This is one. So every scenario, every feature files can have multi scenarios. Every scenario can have many or one or two steps. For every steps, we will have one method for every step. User click on show all the steps. This is in a step definition. This is considered a method. Okay, so whatever steps we have, we will have all methods here. So now I'll copy everything. So because I already have them, I'm just, this is a demo because I already have them. So I copy everything, tail to you can, see, you can implement, giving is on the retail website. I copy this, I come here, desktop step definition. I just don't want to damage my file. I copy everything here. Okay. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So these are all steps that I got them. So the user is on the retail website, user clicks on desktop, user click on show all desktops. These are all steps that we got. So what we need to do, we need to just delete this and make it ready for coding. Here, in a step definition, then Selenium comes into the picture. We need to start coding Selenium, okay? But before doing that, so I created all the steps. And then it says user clicks on the desktop or whatever. So what desktop? Where's the desktop? Okay, how can I click on it? Okay, how should I do it? Now, what is needed? This is needed. I need to find elements. So what is the desktop? How can I reach that desktop? So if I come here, so click on show all desktop. So I need to click on it. Okay, I need to do action. First, find the elements and then do the action. Again, user click add to a cart option on HP or whatever. So I need to find the element and then click on it. This is action. So that's why page object comes in the picture. Okay, so let me just delete this. So I just, let's not delete them. Okay, let's just delete this part. So we created our step definition file and also page feature file. So imagine if you want to write all these methods, that would be too much work. Deleting takes this long. Okay, I have my step definition. I can easily save this. That's fine. See, I already did the coding for this part. See, I did the coding, but who can tell me why? What's the reason that Cucumber is giving me all the methods? Because I already worked on it. The reason is, this is very important, that sometimes you may come you may get into a trouble when you have all the, so let's see, when I run this feature files, first of all, Cucumber checks, do I have method for any of these in any of these files? Any of this, doesn't matter. If yes, it's not gonna give you these. If yes, it will tell you, okay, all the steps have been defined. But if you have, you need to go and comment what you have. Now, when I comment this and I run this, Cucumber realizes that, okay, there is no steps for this. We have, but I have already commented them. And it doesn't matter what is step definition. So when you have it in any of these files and you run this, it's not gonna work because you cannot have something duplicated, okay? Remember, I already have step definitions or for these in any of these. So you cannot run it and it's not going to give you the steps. So whenever they are, you can go and just see if you have them or not. And then I commented them, I got them. Now, so I need to, for doing any of these, now my hands are full. I don't know what to do. What is it? User select quantity. The user should see, okay, let's go. User, okay, user click on desktop. Now I need to interact with elements, find the desktop, and then click on it. What is this click? First, I need to find the element, then I click on it. What is this click? This is the action. Okay, now I go to page object model. I need, so inside the test source, let me see, no, inside the main, I create a package. Inside the package, I create a page object model. This is another step here. So now here we did the step definition. Now I need to create a page object model first. So now this is what I created. Okay, that's easy. So now we need to extend the base class. So the reason we want to extend the base class is just to use the WebDriver here. The only reason, the driver. Okay, so now I went here. Let's just do it quick because we have a lot of things that I've not covered yet. What the terms? So we'll work for another 2 to 3 minutes, and that would be enough for tonight. I just want to show you. Okay, so let's go. This is the desktop. This is the file. What is the first step? Let me just show you quick and just to learn. So user is on the website. This is not something I'm going to show you later. When user click on desktop tab, it means that the user come here and click on this. How to click on this? Okay, I'll go here, click. So you come here. Whenever you come here and you see a link, remember A, this is a very good for link text. Link text is desktop. So this is the best way for link text. You can also get the link text. So for this, I came here and I created an XPath. See, I created an XPath. I can easily find link text, change it to link text, and is it page? Yeah, I created to link text. So whenever you see a link, guys, okay, whenever you see a tag, this is anchor tag. This is perfect for link text. This is the easiest way. So then always there is after this link, there is a text, and just get that text. What is the text here? This is this stuff. And then I copy this. Instead of this, I only put here desktop. This is a good way. Okay, what I did, I found it. Right after I found it, okay, this is separated. Right after I found it, I create a method, and then I save it to a variable desktop tab button. Okay, let me just go. After I found it, what I did here, let me get back here. So here I found the element. Okay, and now I want to do the actions on the element. Okay, right after that, I come here, I create a method, public void, whatever name you want to give, but the name will help you to identify this. Click on desktop tab. So this is clicking. Then I'll use my element, put my element here, and then here, click. What is click here? Then Selenium comes to the picture, guys. This is Selenium code. Okay, Selenium comes to the picture. You click on it. Okay, and this is done. And after that, I go here and it says, I'm not gonna go through all of them because it takes time, just to show samples. User click on show all desktops. Okay, and what is show all desktops? Well, let's see here. This is show all desktop. When you click here, and we got it in the link text, user clicks on this show all desktop. So let me here. Okay. Anyway, it's acting up. I have the element here. So this is the element that I got it. Then I put it here and then do the action. So this is the first procedure. I don't want to go deep inside it. And then we follow this procedure. Now we are finding elements for these steps, for these scenarios. And we already created a step definition by running the feature file. Now we need to find all the elements. Once we find all the elements, then we'll be creating the object of the page object inside the step definition to access the elements and do the Selenium code. Okay, so and I think it's enough for tonight. It's already 2 hours and 3 minutes or something. I don't want you guys to get bored or something. So this is the step that we want to do, and I hope that I was able to explain what you needed. And the next time we will be, so as you see, next session, it has 3 parts. You see, the first one is desktop, the second one is laptop, and the third one is retail page feature. Next time, I think we will be able to finish these 2 in details, okay? And the next session, which is, I don't know, maybe Sunday, we'll be finishing this. And after we finish this, we will come here. I'm gonna show you guys after that. After we did that, we are gonna do these things. We are gonna run this through, so we're going to run the project with Maven, with the command prompt, with the run bot. We're going to run it through Jenkins. After we run it through Jenkins, we will be creating a GitHub repository. We have it. We will be using GitHub and push it, and then we will push it to the GitHub, and then you can also use it. Or if you want to send it to Ticket School, send it. Please just do some changes. They don't, no one I think cares, but just do it anyway. So this is the first step. I hope it was helpful, and now we just kind of got familiar with the project, and then we'll be doing a lot of things next time.
Hey, can you hear me, Nuri, teacher?
Yes.
Come late to the Zoom class. I didn't know about this. For the next, I think, yeah, I came in the half of the class. So first question is that, could you please put a video in the canvas?
I cannot put it in the canvas because I don't have access to canvas. Okay.